morning everyone. Hello, it's Mrs. Lee here. How are you? Are you feeling good? Glad to hear it. Who's on my lap? Are you ready? Do you want a sneaky peek? Here he comes. Yes! It's Wriggles. I was going to call him Lion then. He's got a new name now, hasn't he? Yes. Hello Lion, how are you? You look okay. Right, I'm going to keep him up here for a moment. Can you tell me what we've been thinking about in assemblies this week? Shall I give you a little bit of a reminder? We've been thinking about the British values. Show me on your fingers how many there are. That's right, there are 5. We've talked about 3 so far. I'll give you a little reminder. We've talked about democracy. That helped us to get Lion's name, who is now called Wriggles, Mrs. Lee. And we've also talked about the rule of law. We talked about our golden rules and how they help us, don't they? Mr. Creep, you need to get with those golden rules, don't you? And then yesterday, I loved yesterday because we talked about individual liberty, didn't we? We talked about the ballerina. Was he a ballerina? Well, yeah, of course he was a ballerina, but he was a dog as well. And we can all try to do different things, can't we? Right, so today Mrs. Lee would like to talk about mutual respect. Mutual respect. What does she mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is you might have an idea and I might have an idea. And is it okay if I say your idea's rubbish? Is it okay if you say my idea's rubbish? No, we might have different ideas, all right? But I've got to make sure that I listen to your ideas, and you need to make sure that you are listening to my ideas. And I might not agree with what you're saying, but am I allowed to come and thump you? All right. We do need to listen to each other, and we might not agree with each other, but it's not okay to fight about it. But it is okay to talk more about that and say, well, I don't understand, why do you think that? Have I got a story that could help us? I reckon I have. I need to put Wriggles down though, don't I? All right. So Wriggles is just going to come and sit down on my lap for a moment. And I'm going to get my book. I'm quite excited about this book. It's brand new. It's by the same author that wrote Not Now Bernard. And if you've read any Elmer books, you know Elmer? That's right, the Patchwork Elephant. It's the same author. His name is David McKee. Now this book is called Two Monsters. One's blue, one's red. And can you see they're living on top of this mountain? All right. Now in this book, we're going to find out about how these two monsters did not have mutual respect. So Monster Blue, the blue monster is going to have his idea, and the red monster is going to have his idea. Do you think that they agree with each other or not agree? That's right, they don't agree. Let's find out what happens. Now, with Mrs. Lee's story, sometimes she gets a bit excited, doesn't she? Are you going to get excited and be silly? Oh no. We are sensible listeners at Hertford Infant School, so whether you're in your bubble, and you're in bubble 7 over at the junior school, or you're in bubbles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 in school, or whether you are at home with your grown-up, you need to be sensible. I shall be watching. Right then, Two Monsters by David McKee. Are you ready? There was once a monster that lived quietly on the west side of the mountain. There was once a monster that lived on the east side of the mountain. Sometimes the monsters spoke to each other through a hole in the mountain. Can you see them? but they never, ever could see each other. One evening, the first monster called through the hole, "Can you see how beautiful it is? Day is departing." "Day departing?" called the second monster. "You mean night arriving, you twit." Now, straight away, they have broken a golden rule, haven't they? Dearie me. They're not being very kind, are they, to each other? "Don't call me a twit, you Dumbo, or I'll get angry," fumed the first monster, and he felt so annoyed that he could hardly go to sleep. The other monster felt just as irritated, and he slept very badly as well. Not a good start, is it? The next morning, the first monster felt awful after such a bad night's sleep, and he shouted through the hole, "Wake up, you numbskull! Night is leaving." "Don't you be stupid, you pea-brain," answered the second monster. "That day is arriving." And with that, he picked up a stone and he threw it over the mountain. Are they keeping the golden rules? "Rotten shot, you big ignoramus," called the first monster as the stone just about missed him, and he picked up a bigger stone and he hurled it back. Now that stone also missed. "Hopeless, you hairy no-neck nerk," howled the second monster, and he threw back a rock which knocked off the top of the mountain. "You're just a stupid old wind-filled prune," shouted the first monster as he heaved a boulder that knocked another piece of the mountain off. "And you're a revolting soggy cornflake," replied the second monster, and this time he kicked a huge rock just for a change. As the day passed, the rocks grew bigger and bigger, and the insults grew stronger and longer. Both of the monsters remained untouched, but the mountain was being knocked to pieces. Thumbs up if you think that's a good thing. "You're a hairy, overstuffed, empty-headed, boggly-eyed mess," shouted the first monster as he threw yet another massive boulder. "Well, you're a pathetic, addle-brained, smelly custard tot," screamed the second monster, hurling yet another rock. Oh, I'm not happy with these monsters. That rock finally smashed the last of the mountain, and for the very first time, the monsters could both see each other. And this happened just at the beginning of another sunset. You see the sky looking very, very lovely. "Incredible," said the first monster, putting down the rock that he was holding. "There's night arriving. You were right." "Amazing," gasped the second monster, dropping his boulder. "You were right. It's day leaving." Well, they walked to the middle of the mess that they had made to watch the arrival of the night and the departure of the day together. "Oh, that was rather fun," giggled the first monster. "Yes, wasn't it?" chuckled the second. "Pity about the mountain, though." That's the end of my book. What were we talking about? We were talking about mutual respect. We were talking about sometimes you might have an idea, I might have an idea, and your idea might be different, and my idea might be different. Just like the blue and red monsters. Was the blue monster right? Was the red monster right? Or were they just looking at the same thing, but just a little bit differently? Oh dear. Do you know what I think those two monsters needed? They needed a bit of conflict resolution. They needed to say, stop, let's not fall out. Let's talk, not throw boulders at each other. You need to listen. And they should have sorted it out, shouldn't they? Oh dear. Do you think Wriggles is impressed by our monsters? No, he's not impressed at all. Wish everybody could just be kind and gentle and helpful and keep the golden rules and listen to each other's ideas. Do you know there's somebody in our school, all right, who does listen to ideas and always has ideas of her own. And that lovely person is called Mrs. Esau. Now, I've been sitting in front of this board because what I want to do is very carefully, we're going on a journey. Are you coming with me? I don't know if you can see Mrs. Esau, but she's up. There she is. Say, hello, Mrs. Esau. There she is. And the reason oops-a-daisy. Woo, there's a bit of a journey there. The reason we need to say something about Mrs. Esau is today's a bit sad. Because if you're in bubble 3, and you probably know this already, Mrs. Esau is going. Mrs. Esau is only going a little way away though. She is going to start working at the junior school. Yeah! Mrs. Esau has been studying and working hard. She needs lots of number 4s. She has been trying very hard and she is going to become a teacher. Now, I bet you thought she already was because she's so good. Right. Well, Mrs. Esau is an amazing Forest School leader. We see her in Forest School, don't we? And we love having her there. And Mrs. Esau has been a teaching assistant. God, Mrs. Esau has been a midday supervisor. Mrs. Esau has done so many jobs in our school. And she always has amazing ideas. And I've listened to her ideas and sometimes I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe we'll have to try that, I don't know. But that's what I did do. I made sure I listened to her because she has got great ideas and I know that with her wonderful ideas she's going to make the perfect teacher next year. I'm very excited for her. So what I would like now to happen is somebody in bubble 3 needs to stand up. I think you might know who you are, you've been chosen, because I think there is something, oh look at that, coming your way, Mrs. Esau. No, it's not a reflection of Mrs. Lee, don't worry. Yeah. Look at that. Now it looks very tiny there, but it is very beautiful. Class 3 have made you a lovely card from their bubble and they will just want to say goodbye to you. Oh my gosh, it's so lovely inside. Lots of lovely, lovely work. What I love is what you look like, Mrs. Esau. Now, Mrs. Esau is going to pop over to the junior school to do some work ready for her teaching role next year. I think that hopefully she is going to come back on the very, very last day. Now you remember the last day is next Thursday, so we've got 1 week left with each other. Mrs. Esau will come back to probably say a little goodbye. But what's really lovely is if you are in year 2, when you start the junior school in September, you'll still see Mrs. Esau. And hopefully we'll still see Mrs. Esau around the school. Hopefully, so will Wriggles see Mrs. Esau. So even though she isn't going to be in the infant school, she will be close by. And we wish her all the best. And we love Mrs. Esau and Mrs. Lee can't think of anything else to say. But good luck, Mrs. Esau. Right, okay, what do we need to finish with? Oh my gosh, it's a school prayer. Help me to do the things I should, to be to others kind and good. In all my work, all my play, to grow more loving every day. Amen. Okay, right. Have a lovely, lovely Thursday. Can I tell you a little secret? I'm 48 today. Shh, don't tell anyone. Right, I will see you tomorrow, because tomorrow is Shout Out Assembly! Yeah! I can't wait. I've had a few more emails through. I'm hoping that the grown-ups up here might send me a little video, because we all love to see everybody, don't we? It's nicer than seeing Mrs. Lee's face all the time. So any of those grown-ups out there could send us a little video of the children you would like to give a shout out to. I would be very happy with that. Any more emails from grown-ups at home? We would love to know what your children are doing at home. Right. Mrs. Lee is going to stop talking now. Have a lovely, lovely Thursday. I'm hoping that mine is great. Wriggle says goodbye, and Mrs. Esau, bye!